Alright, so here we are. I finally got the parts in. And just to let you guys know, I have never done this before. Complete rewire of the guitar. I've changed pickups, but I've never changed like the pots and things like that. So if I'm able to do it, you should be able to do the same. As you know, and Epiphones are made overseas. Gibsons are made in the States. These are CTS pots, and the CTS USA pots are made in the States, and the holes could be a few millimeters too small for these, so we'll have to see. But it won't be a big deal if they're too small. We're just gonna maybe take some sandpaper and make these holes bigger. All I'm doing here is I'm just taking off, just trying to get this thing off the packaging here. Just put this off. Alright, so let's just flip the guitar over and let's see what happens. This is the Switchcraft switch, and it already feels way better. Just way better. The sad thing is I'm going to have to unsolder this so I can get in here and route this wire back up to this and then solder it again the way it is. And I think that's what I'm going to have to go ahead and do. Pulling out the soldering iron. I'm just going to start heating that up. I'm just trying to unsolder this so I can put this in my guitar. So this black wire is going to go in the middle here. I don't know how they hook this up, but whatever. Good thing I'm recording this too, because if I have issues later, I'll know where everything goes. Alright, there we go. Let's get this soldering iron out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to put this baby in the guitar. Complete noob here, guys. I got to unsolder that input jack because I need to put that, I need to route that later too, so let's just see. You got to be real careful with this soldering iron because, man, I'm telling you right now, this thing will fucking fuck you up. Probably won't be able to see in there too good. There's 4 holes, there's 4 pots, you get the point. Alright, so big moment of truth. Am I going to have to make these holes bigger or what? And it looks like I may have to make the holes bigger. I kind of already knew that, which sucks, but maybe. Yep. God dang it. Alright. Well, I'm not a pro at this. And, okay, this next part, I don't recommend that you do it the way I'm about to do it. See how I'm working in a circular motion? As you can see, the holes look a little funny, but nothing's cracked or damaged. After I put the pots in, the knobs on, you're not going to see that anyways. Let's see if all the pots fit in there. Alright, so we got these holes drilled out, and now I got the pots through the holes that I drilled a little bit more. And now we're just going to put washer on there. I'm not a professional at this. I don't claim to be one. And I think that's the reason why this video is going to be pretty crucial to people who want to do this, that may be thinking, it's too hard for me, I don't trust myself to do it. Well, guess what? I didn't either, but I'm also not too scared to fiddle around with this stuff. Alright, so let me just tighten these things down. Okay. I've seen videos where people take like 3 hours and 5 videos. I'm really trying not to get to that point. I think maybe a 40-minute job, you know. And hopefully that'll be enough. So let's try to put this cap on there. See if that works. So we got, what do we got? A volume. And alright, so we got done with the pots. Now I'm going to put the switch in. Alright, so now I'm just trying to pull the switch wiring up in place. So, and these are new strings, so I really don't feel like, I know most people would say, oh, just restring it. Well, I'll do that. The next thing on this project is going to be changing the nut. But until then, I'm trying to avoid that. Because it's money, you know? Things cost money. Okay. That's as far as it'll go. And now I'm going to twist these like this. And then I'm going to run it up the next hole. And when you're doing this, you have to take those pickups out. You just have to. On a Les Paul, there's no way around it. Because it's impossible to do. Maybe not impossible, but you freaking pull your hair out trying anything else. Alright. Now, there it is. Shoot. Gotta pull all 3 at once, it seems like. There we go. And now, we gotta solder that switch back on there. So now I gotta go watch the video and see where these wires go, because I forgot. Look. You know what's hilarious? I didn't even check to see if this hole was large enough. I just assumed that could have caused me a lot of issues, but it didn't. Alright. And she is installed. With all her glory, she will prove to be a great switch. Now it's time for the pickups. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this neck pickup in. It's a DiMarzio. Probably can't see that, but it's a blues bucker. And we're going to go ahead and put that baby in. Lift these strings up. Make sure I'm not clamping down on any wiring. Then I can go ahead and screw this baby in. Yeah. Alright, so let's get the old Seymour Duncan SH4. Let's see if we can see that. Yeah. Let's put that baby in. I know a lot of you are probably laughing at me that I didn't. I'm not going to put new strings on here, but after all this. But I will. You always change the strings of it. It's just brand new strings, man. I didn't plan on doing this until the freaking switch went out on me. But like I was saying in the first video, this is a great guitar. The playability is awesome. The fretwork is awesome. You might have to follow the frets down. It varies model to model. But other than that, it's just a fine guitar. It's just the way they're able to sell this to you so cheap, is, you know, putting the cheap pots in there, the cheap pickups in there, the cheap switch in there, the cheap wiring, you know, and that all makes a big difference on tone and playability. Because if you're doing a gig and, you know, your switch goes out, you're screwed. Unless you have a backup guitar. I never go to shows with a backup guitar, because I just want to make sure that, you know, when I'm there with my Gibson Les Paul, I'm confident, unless I drop it and crack the headstock, that it's going to perform throughout the gig. But this guitar wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't trust it to do that with the original wiring. So there we are. Okay, now I'm just trying to wire this jack back up, which is proving to be more difficult because of just the way this, I'm having to handle this. Let's feed this baby through there. Oh man. Oh man. Alright, what they might not tell you is when you get one of these kits and you get a new input, you're going to have to increase the size of this hole too for the input. Alright, so this is what we got so far, and I'll be coming back to you guys when I'm going to do the pickups. Alright, so now I'm down in my guitar room, and we got the pots in, we got the switch in, we got the input jack connected, and if you do order one of these, it gives you a wiring diagram. Okay, the Bloodstone Guitar Works Gibson wiring loom, so you won't be totally lost. If you didn't see something, then I did. That is. The important thing here is to know that DiMarzio pickups, the color codes are different than the Seymour Duncan and vice versa. So you have to look at your manufacturer's wiring diagram for your pickups. But the red doesn't necessarily do the same thing on all pickups. Well, they don't, that's for sure. So according to this wiring diagram, I'm going to need to use the bridge earth, is what they call it, that they already pre-connected to one of the 500K pots, and I just need to take my ground that's connected to the bridge itself and just runs through the guitar. So I need to ground that. I'm going to twist those two wires together and then insulate it with the supplied insulator. So that's what I'm doing. So I'll try to zoom in. That's all it's doing. Oh, wait a minute. What did I do with that thing now? Shit. Fuck. There it is. Okay. Thought I lost it. Alright, so we're going to ground these together. The bridge is now, the ground wire to the bridge is now grounded. Alright, now all I'm doing, guys, is looking at the wiring diagram and wiring this thing up. Excuse me. What I tied for the Seymour Duncan for a series wiring, which is the standard wiring. Okay, no crazy stuff. I wired the white and red wires together. I twisted them together and then put solder on it. And then on the green and the bare wire, twisted them together, put solder on it, and then the black wire, I just went ahead and put solder on it, and now I'm gonna go ahead and put it on that part. At least try to, if I can get in there without breaking nothing. So let's try to. I know it's hard to see, but you're just gonna have to look at your wiring diagram. That's all. Spool on that. solid connection, solid connection. Let's make sure this is out of the way. Alright, now we're going to move on to the DiMarzio. Alright, so just to give you a rundown of what's going on here, the Seymour Duncan, I'm running these in series, okay? And series is basically just the standard humbucker wiring, the way the company wanted it to sound. There's no coil splitting or none of that stuff. So it's just going to be the basic wiring of how a humbucker should be hooked up. So in that case, the Seymour Duncan, for a series wiring, I had to twist the red and the white wires together, and then green and bare go together for ground, and then the black wire was hot. Now what I was saying earlier, different color schematics on different humbuckers brands. So now in the DiMarzio case, it's actually the black and white wires get twisted together and taped off, and the red wire is the hot wire. That's why you got to pay attention to what brand pickup you have, and don't assume that they all do the same, the color code is for the same thing. So at this point, I got my Seymour Duncan wired up. I'm going to go ahead and show you up close, because I know you guys haven't been close yet. But let me go ahead and this is the volume pot for the bridge, which is going to be my Seymour Duncan. See, I got the white and the red wires twisted together. The black wire is on the first connector. There's 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if you can really see that, but it's connected here. Yeah, you can see where that black wire is hooked up right there. And then the ground got grounded on the top of the pot, which right here. So I'm going to do the same thing for the neck position volume pot. I'm finished wiring it up, and I'm about to plug it in the amp and see if it works. These cables are going to get tied off. I'm going to clean that up a little, but this is what we're looking at now. So let me go ahead and tie her off. Let's plug her up. Alright, so this guitar is tuned up and everything is working properly. I'm going to screw the back plates back on. This is what it's looking like now. I'm going to go ahead and clean that up probably tomorrow, clean those wires up a little. There's the new Switchcraft switch, the DiMarzio blues bucker in the neck, the Seymour Duncan SH4 in the bridge, Gibson tuning, Gibson knobs, I guess, and yeah. The next on the list would be a new bridge here and a new nut, and maybe locking tuners, and this thing would be ready to go. Alright, so I've wired up everything. Everything's good to go. Now we're going to do a sound test, and this is the bridge position with the Seymour Duncan SH4 JB. Clean tone, dry. Clicking it over to the blues bucker. Put some delay on, some tremolo on, some reverb. do some distortion sounds. This is the bridge position. Turn the volume down, turn the tone down. Alright, now let's switch to the neck position. Let's roll the tone off and the volume off. Alright, now let's do some lead in the bridge position. Alright, thanks for watching me rewire this thing. I appreciate it. It sounds absolutely amazing and so much better than it did in its original form. And I would highly suggest that you guys do the same if you buy an Epiphone Les Paul Standard or any of the above. Any model Epiphone, I would suggest you rewire it. And the alpha pots have nothing on these CTS USA pots. The pickups are way better. The wiring is better. The switch is an absolute necessity if you want to have an Epiphone. Epiphones are great guitars in guitar form. Electronics need to be pulled out, and then you're going to have a great guitar for a long time. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you haven't already.